I was just suggested to watch this video from Mr. Samuels. I believe it's I forgot what's the other name. I'm sorry. And yes, we have sound. Just making sure. So, and I was thinking, why I'm not subscribed to his channel. I'm not subscribed at all into his channel, but then I looked. Shit, I was not. This is why I don't like to show my face sometimes, but I want to show you some of the video anyway, from one of the Rupert Murdoch's television stations. So anyway, yeah, it's like more than 85,000 views. So it's not, a little thing. I was like, okay, so let me watch this about Ice Cube, and it looked like a panel of women, right? And it turned out it's like Rupert Murdoch had one of his, channels addressed to African Americans. I think it's a Fox Soul. I don't watch television. He put like Cablevision, Fox Soul, whatever that is. So yeah, sounds like it's like a music stuff, I don't know. So let's start the panel. I don't want to make it like a big deal. So this was like right off the bat, less than 2 minutes before, accurate, less than 2 minutes after. Less than 2 minutes after.
Looking at some of the bites from your interview, you did an interview with Roland Martin, which helped me, I'm going to say, because I will say that when I first heard that you were supporting Trump, I was like, wait a minute, what? Hold on, because you my boy. So I was like, I got a person inside. I'm calling him directly.
I didn't say I was supporting Trump. So
allegedly, right. That's what I heard. That's what the bites, the sound bites. That's why people got to do their research. And I watched that interview, and I heard you break it down to why you were involved, why you met with both sides, and when you got involved, which was not just recently. And so when I said, what contract was he talking about? This contract of Black America? Like, what is that? Where did it come from? I did not know. So when I think of things that I don't know, I automatically assume that a whole lot of people out there don't know. So I would want you to educate me as well. So what did make you go to the administration and speak with them?
Well, what happened was, there was a lot of yelling, a lot of people upset, a lot of reforms being put on the table during George Floyd. But I was looking around for a document that really was speaking on what's the needs in the community and what do we need across the board, not just from government, but from the private sector too. Because there's a lot of companies that are involved in our pain, and they got to pay up too.
Well, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just found out, like, it got my attention that the woman who opened the show with the first interaction, I mean, I cannot say it was really a question because obviously she did not read. I mean, if anything, I think, none of the women's in the panel read. I mean, I would lie to them, I would say like, yeah, it's right there, like blah, 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 chapter what or whatever, title, whatever, article 6, just to be like, and they still will be like, I mean, she said just like, why they had to repeat that? I mean, that was one of the most vicious things they did. And, it was like a really weird thing because it was debunked, and it's still going on. It's still going on that, he's a Trump supporter, that he's this, that he's that, like, oh yeah, that was a soundbite. That was a soundbite, like, like she said, and that's how she started. She introduced the video, and this is the older woman. It looked like to be like the older woman of the panel. She's the older woman of the panel, and she don't read. She's like, yeah, that was the soundbite. That was the soundbite.
You did an interview with Roland Martin, which helped me, I'm going to say, because I will say that when I first heard that you were supporting Trump, I was like, wait a minute, what? Hold on, because you my voice. I was like, I got a person inside. I'm calling him directly.
I didn't say I was supporting Trump. So
allegedly, right.
Yeah,
That's what I heard. That's what the bite, the sound bites.
Yeah.
You know, that's why people got to do their research. And I watched that interview, and I heard you break it down to why you were involved, why you met with both sides, and when you got involved, which was not just recently. And so when I said, you know, what contract was he talking about? This contract of Black America? Like, what is that? Where did it come from? I did not know. So when I think of things that
and she did not know, and then what she do? She go watch Roland Martin. That's how she prepared herself for the interview of her lifetime. I mean, this show, I guess it's a show. It's a half-an-hour show. It turned out, I looked it up. It was unless they cut it off. I don't know, because it was so embarrassing. You know, it was like, I mean, once and for all. I mean, it's like I heard like, I don't know, maybe decades. You know, the problem with the Black society was the fact that women could not respect a man that it did not contribute nothing, you know, who did not have, you know, anything. Right? That was the myth. That was the myth, and they run with it. This is what feminism do. This is why, you know, I found that really, really precious that I encountered some of the work. I'm not a big reader either, and I admit it. But then again, I'm not on television, you know, on this network. Who I forgot how many views this. I'm seeing it right here. This happened 2 weeks ago, and it got 200 and almost 280,000 views. Almost 280,000 views. And the most important here is not the views, is the fact that, oh my God, it's coming from, you know, corporate media, you know, the people they see like, oh, you know, mainstream media is the shit. Is this like, you gotta believe it if you see it on television, right? It's not like, because, you know, when you see something on YouTube, it's like you go like, you know, whatever, you know, like, oh, okay. So automatically the mindset is very different than when it comes to the whites outlets, right? So keep that in mind, you know. So it's a very, very embarrassing that that she sound like, you know, she's dressed like with this white suit, like you saw, like you know, like she stole it from Hillary Clinton or some shit like that, you know. But then she speak, and it's just like dead, emptiness. So let's skip to the next interaction. You know, I mean, yeah, this is why I hear so many African Americans talking about, you know, like I did the video on KT, the arts degree, that he went on this rant for like an hour saying how Black people was the devil, how Black people was the real devil, that there's no such thing. Like, you know, he went on like, I mean, you can watch the whole thing if you want. I mean, like, it's just, I hear it. I mean, I starting to see the other people's side, because like I say, this myth of the African devil versus the white devil, the real white devil. It's been, like I said, going on for years. So, and you know, you gotta, you know, just scratch your head and you go like, why? And then you see stuff like I just saw a few minutes ago. I mean, it's like, I was like really not expecting to get in. I'm in one of those funky moods that I've been for like a couple of days, and you know, this day I haven't left the house. I'm a mess. So anyway, here we go, the next interaction.
Or close the wealth gap. So that's the major problem. I understand we got a lot of people, you know, working hard for progress, that just the facts are it hasn't happened in the traditional way. So that's why I want to break the mold.
So I just want to say, first of all, you know, there's this whole cancel culture that we have. First of all, anybody canceling no damn Ice Cube. Let me just say that first, not the gate. This is NWA. He was the first to say fuck the police, so go sit down. Nobody's canceling Ice Cube, and if you are canceling, that's fucking stupid. Second of all, I do think that it is very good that you are taking an initiative.
You notice that it was damn Ice Cube. You know, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't call him the N-word, because every time I listen to African-American women talk about African-American men, they refer to them with the N-word. So, but she just said, no damn Ice Cube. Nobody's canceling them. And you see how this intersectionality feminist, which it was created by an African-American woman, this theory of intersectionality, which, you know, basically, you know, put in the same category African-American men with white men, right? And anything else besides that, you know, these are oppressed Black women. Even though, like I said, this is like years ago came out this study saying, and none of the African-American women repelled it. I remember that because I was still reading African-American Twitter, that African-American women are the most educated sector of the population in the United States. So it's like, I mean, I don't know, that to me tell me that yes, they got the college degrees. How they actually got the college degrees and the university degrees, whatever they're called, that's a different story, right? Did they actually went through the whole thing, or they did any shortcuts? Was there any shortcuts to get it? If you know what I mean. I mean, I gotta say these things. Because, you know, I mean, for one thing, I'm happy that, you know, Black men are really opening their eyes. I know it is very, very, very painful. And regardless, you know, of race or gender or whatever, it's just being able to see our own mothers, you know, with you know, objectivity, you know, with, you know, like, it is very painful. It is extremely painful, especially if you're like, you know, I was born in 1965. So, you know, that was vicious. You know, feminism was vicious in a different way, probably than today, but it was still, you know, I'm a recovering child of a feminist, basically. You know, I can say that this is not, you know, an exclusive problem to African Americans. And it's remarkable, you know, that a minority, you know, alleged minority in this country of only, like, I understand, less than 45 million people, you know, get to be so much in the media. You know, that's always something that you always have to question. I always have to look every day when you open, like, regardless of, you know, who you follow on Twitter or whatever, because they count a lot of that. So if you follow, you know, just white people, then you won't get that. You know, so you actually have to be like, you know, in the midst of the whole matrix, you know, in order not to probably, and still, you know, of course, they have the whatever it's called, the crime section or whatever, you know, horrendous, you know, like, but him going to this panel of, you know, apparently they look extremely successful Black women, including Vivica A. Fox and her latest face lift, you know. So anyway.
Major problem. I understand we got a lot of people, you know, working hard for progress, that just the facts are it hasn't happened in the traditional way. So that's why I want to break the mold.
So I just want to say, first of all, you know, there's this whole cancel culture that we have. First of all, anybody canceling no damn Ice Cube. Let me just say that first, not the gate. This is NWA. He was the first to say fuck the police, so go sit down. Nobody's canceling Ice Cube, and if you are canceling, that's fucking stupid. Second of all, I do think that it is very good that you are taking an initiative to, and I like how you say bipartisan, because that means both parties. This is for both parties. We want both parties to jump onto this. This is not just, oh, this person, that person. We want everybody to grab a hold on to what African-American people need singularly. And I remember we talked about this on cocktails. Remember, Lisa Ray, when you asked the question before, you were like, well, who's going to do something? Who's going to lead singularly for African-Americans? Now, I do know that there have been tons of initiatives. CDC has initiatives all the time, Congressional Black Caucus, the Nation of Islam, right here, National Agenda. They've had an entire agenda that happened right after the Million Man March. It was presented to, what's the name? The president that was in, Clinton. It was presented to the Clinton administration. So we have tried. There has been trying going on. But one thing I do like about your initiative is that it is singular to Black people. That gap, that wealth gap is a fool, and it does need to be fixed immediately. But here's my question. I watched you on the Black Report the other day, on Friday, and they asked you, hey, Q, what do you think about, when you see the Black Man March, and how does that make you feel? And you said something that was really profound and stood out to me. You said, you know what? I wish that Black people and Black men could watch this over again and get back to this, because you said, even myself, we need to get back to this type of unity, this type of connecting. And so my thing is, let's say whoever get in office, it ain't gonna matter. The initiative is set, and then it's like, nothing's happening, or something is happening, whatever, it's there. Now, let's say they give us all the $500 billion that we asked for. Do you honestly think, and I'm not even trying to be funny or trying to catch nobody up, no, I'm just asking like a real question. With the state of how our community is already broken, how we already have PTSD, how we already are not connecting already interculturally, this infrastructure of African Americans in general is just jammed up with or without money. Do you think, and what could be the process of, once we get this money, of implementing it properly into our communities and really being able to allocate it where it makes sense and matters, and what's going to be necessary for that to happen?
Well, what I said on the show about the Million Man March was the fact.
Well, there's a lot to talk about there. Of course, I'm not going to get in there, but it just was the past end of streak, whatever. I hate this colonial language. I know you love colonial languages anyway, but we are, we watched, I don't know, countless interviews in the past month, right? Month or 3 weeks, I don't know, with Ice Cube, right? And we are watching him right now, a gangster rapper, whatever, having cursed once, poised, and, I mean, very, very well educated. I understand he even studied with Dr. Claude Anderson and whatnot. So, but she was cursing and he was not. So, like I always say, there's been a gender reversal, in the whole world. Let's not say just our African American brothers and sisters, in the whole world, where there has not really been that, I guess, serious repercussions against our foul language. Mine's included. Like, I can, and it is just, it's hard not to get sucked in by this feminism, I was going to say culture, but it's anti-culture. They just say anti-culture, rather,
Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. We have Ice Cube here, and we are talking about this contract with Black America and some very legit questions here. But before we went to break, you asked about if the current administration has not done it in 2.5 years. Why now is this massive push with 2 weeks before the election? I understand Ice Cube, you've been working with this since June, July, but we're hearing about it now. So it looks really, I think it looks very, I feel like I don't, and I know this isn't your intention, but I feel like, how they use us all the damn time.
Well, both sides use celebrities, but check this out. The thing is this, I'm not here saying he's going to do anything, but he didn't make a promise to me. He made a campaign promise to the world. So he's on record for that. Now, we wanted Joe Biden on record. He has a plan, but I don't know if his plan really pinpoints Black people. So we want a plan that pinpoints Black people. We don't know if any of them going to do it. But when you have a person on record as a campaign promise, you have more to go at him with, because he's told the world this is what he's going to do. And if he doesn't deliver, he looks bad to everybody. Now, why hasn't dude done it in 3 years? I don't know. Nobody's been pressing him. Everybody's been like, he's the boogeyman run, and nobody's been pressing him on behalf of Black people, because we've been just waiting for Democrats to get back in.
I do not agree with you on that statement. There's been a lot of people that have asked him, what about the wall? What about the kids' education? There's a lot of things.
I understand that.
I'm not going to give him no plus signs whatsoever.
But check this out. I'm talking about pressing him to give things to Black people. These are country issues. I'm talking about Black people pressing him to give things to Black people. Everybody treated him like a boogeyman. Nobody would go and press him to give.
Did you get that? Did you get that? It's just like, us as women, we're like not even, hold accountable, even like for not only interrupting, this is their guest, the host. No, they are the hostess. the hostess from hell, right? They are the hostess from hell. But you know, she not only interrupted, but she was like totally wrong. I mean, like, but she was like so adamant to be like, you know, fuck it, you haven't, like, you know, it's like, it's typical feminazis just waiting for just any I don't know, I guess I just have a new cat. I don't know if she was around here. She is not being too friendly. You know, I guess she's just not used to. Anyway, I cannot get, maybe that wasn't her. That would be great if she's getting, you know, more, you know, relaxed in here. But who knows? I'm thinking of taking her back to the street because she seems she loved the street too much. Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue listening.
And it's like nothing's happening, or something is happening, whatever, you know, it's there. Now, well, let's say they give us all the $500 billion that we asked for. Do you honestly think, and I'm not even trying to be funny or trying to catch nobody up, no, I'm just asking like a real question. With the state of how our community is already broke, how we already have PTSD, how we already are not connecting already interculturally, the infrastructure of African Americans in general is just jammed up with or without money. Do you think, and what could be the process of, once we get this money, of implementing it properly into our communities and really being able to allocate it where it makes sense and matters, and what's going to be necessary for that to happen?
Well, you know, what I said on the show about the Million Man March was the fact that it was the Million Man March, but it was a day of atonement.
Too much.
To clean ourselves up. But I think the key is to try to get the money in the hands of people who are doing things, who are trying to be on the right side, the progressive people, the people who are you know, business owners, people who want to own homes, you know, people who want to beautify their homes so it isn't, you know, just gentrified, you know. So it's things where we can get money into responsible people.
But I just got to ask that and make that statement, because you can't make them
points, and you're gonna have to use less. I also think the government has a job too. You know, why you use the armies just to come in and put guns on us and make sure we're not protesting? Why you don't use the armies to come fix fences and roofs and paint walls and do things to beautify the neighborhood? You know, it's like they got to rethink how government works for the people, and they're not going to do it using the same old ways. You're going to have to push them. You're going to have to find pressure points, and you're going to have to use leverage when it's time. You know,
everybody make a quick statement though.
Yeah, I think that was this is why I like
money into responsible people. All have to start doing. They'll hire the community to teach the community. They're not going to do it using the same old ways. You're going to have to push them. You're going to have to find.
Okay.
Make them all of that, and they've been there for 3.5 years. So
yeah, I
just gotta make a quick statement though, Q.
Go ahead.
If the administration
and make sure we're not protesting. Why you don't use the armies to come fix fences and roofs and paint walls and do things to beautify the neighborhood? You know, it's like they got to rethink how government works for the people, and they're not going to do it using the same old ways. You're going to have to push them. You're going to have to find pressure points, and you're going to have to use leverage when it's time. You know,
I just gotta make a quick statement though, Q.
Go ahead.
If the administration that is in there right now hasn't done it for the past 3.5 years, what do you think is going to make them start in the next 4 years that they are giving more, and giving more during a pandemic? I know you got to take a break, hold that thought, but I just got to ask that and make that statement. Because
and the Democrats have been doing that since 1960. The Democrats have been in charge. I mean, like, mainly, you know, so it's like, oh gosh, that's not even you know, anyway, but you know, it really tell you, you know, where the money is coming from for this show, you know.
But I don't know if his plan really pinpoints Black people. So we want a plan that pinpoints Black people. We don't know if any of them gonna do it. But when you have a person on record as a camp, the thing is this: I'm not here saying he's gonna do anything, but he didn't make a promise to me. He made a campaign promise to the world. So he's on record for that. Now, we wanted Joe Biden on record. He has a plan, but I don't know if his plan really pinpoints Black people. So we want a plan that pinpoints Black people. We don't know if any of them gonna do it. But when you have a person on record as a campaign promise, you have more to go at him with, because he's told the world this is what he's going to do, and if he doesn't deliver, he looks bad to everybody. Now, why hasn't dude done it in 3 years? I don't know. Nobody's been pressing him. Everybody's been like, he's the boogeyman run, and nobody's been pressing him on behalf of Black people, because we've been just waiting for Democrats to get back in.
I do not agree with you on that statement. There's been a lot of people that have asked him, what about the wall? What about the kids? I mean, there's a lot of things.
I understand that.
I'm not going to give him no plus signs whatsoever.
But check this out. I'm talking about pressing him to give things to Black people. These are country issues. I'm talking about Black people pressing him to give things to Black people. Everybody treated him like a boogeyman. Nobody would go and press him to give things to Black people.
This year,
It's been hell.
All right, so let's pass these fucking commercials. I just hate commercials. Like I make a big fuss. I look at the other way. Okay, now here's back.
For the rest of the country, I understand that, but we raggedy. We got to get our. We have to press any president that ends up winning. We have to press, or it's not going to work. We can't just press one side.
He says when we press them that the other people are fine people. I mean, is that right? I mean, and he won't denounce the people that hurt us and suppress us, and that makes that. And then the policeman has his neck over somebody's neck for 9 minutes. He never support them. I mean,
I'm not here to fight about what he did, what he didn't do. Is he a good white man? Is he a bad white man? To me, they pretty much all the same. So now,
I don't agree with that.
That said,
I don't agree with that.
But look, I know we've had all kind of presidents, and our situation hasn't changed. So that's why I said they're pretty much all the same when it comes to a president and dealing with our situation.
So I gotta ask a question. Because you're on the show with Cocktails with the Queens, and there's a reason for that. It wasn't to have you defend or not defend Donald Trump. It was about I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women, and it's not we're not mentioning at all in the contract with Black America.
When you mention Black people, you're mentioning Black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's not true. Just like administration say that when they
Black women are not included in Black people.
No, that's what you're saying. That's like when the president says minorities, then he's including Black people. But we all know that's not the case. Black women have specific needs that are not also being met. And we also feel that there should be some things that are specific to us in our plight as well. And I feel like as a man, you can leave. I feel like
I just offered y'all to write a section up for it. I just said I don't mind.
Okay, so basically we are at minute 19 with the greeting and stuff like that. So in 15 minutes is like, that was like, to me, that was like, can we stop the bullshit and just go right to the jugular? Like I say, this African American, Crenshaw, Kim Crenshaw, no, I forgot, something Crenshaw. I just remember the last name for some reason, who came out with this intersectionality, and the way it was like so angry, so like, I mean, it, if it was like done, I wonder if it had been to a KKK meeting, whatever, would have been that rage. I mean, like, because with that rage, it sounds more like, guess what? It's like, if we are not gonna be getting, our own, whatever that is, because he asked them later on, and that would be like, hey, we want with this is like great. We have our laundry list of shit that we want. None of them presented nothing. They just wanted to look smart. They wanted to look like, oh yeah, just it's like, oh no, how dare you leave Black women out? And then if he had put anything for Black women, which he probably did, or or not. I mean, it's like, it was so like, it's a half-hour show, and you go like this. I mean, it's just very, very. I mean, this is more like a high school project. You can pass it on. You go like, okay, this is amateur. There was no. I feel like in all fairness, I mean, if it was a grown-up show, they would have given at least 1 minute to just to present the basics of his proposal, right? I mean, that's usually how it's done, right? When more balanced, shows on television, I guess they give at least 30 seconds. They put like a diagram, whatever, and we had to go. I don't know. They stop the VCR and take a picture or whatever, Well, now you can take a screenshot. They could have done that. So these are the highlights. These are the problems that we got against your proposal. None of that because they did not read it. They are unprepared. They are like, obviously all the wealth they got is because they're sucking white cock. I mean, come on. I mean, none of them are like the greatest actresses or like, I mean, I don't even know if the other ones are actresses too. I mean, I just see Vivica, and I mean, when you say Vivica, you say it's pretty. She was one of the most beautiful women in the world, right? And that's about it. And that is about it. But like Kevin Samuels. Now I remember his name. Sorry. He said, you always play the smartest woman. You always like, but that's the television. That's for the movies, right? And she still thinks she's in the movies or something, that she don't actually have to, contextualize any of her answers. I mean, that's to me is just really, really embarrassing. And I guess it's like, but that's just the way it is. For us women, we don't have to have the quality standards that men do, right? We always make excuses. We always go like, well, we didn't pretend, we did not even give him an excuse, not a single point, on page 3, whatever, I saw this, and can you tell us more about it? No, this was a roast. This was a roast of Ice Cube. You know how the whites, they roast somebody? So that's what it was. And, I mean, it is, how low can you go? I mean, every time, I feel like I talk about, this, feminism, whatever, I feel like it's always a new law. I mean, that I discover, but that has been going on around, right? And, we were so blinded by, this Black women is God, like Brother Polite, Black women is God, like the Black goddess, queen, Black queen, all this stuff. And it's just like, okay. Well, of course, there's like, I have been fortunate enough to come across real, Black women that they are very, very much, they own whatever it is they do, and they got wisdom and stuff. I don't see any wisdom in these women. I just see that they had an agenda, and they had to give more. They had to tell us that, Black men and Black women hate each other, and they always have to be in conflict. I wonder if Ice Cube thought that, like, well, maybe, they all are concerned about their careers. They might be behaving a little bit better. I don't know. I can only imagine the other shows. I never watched this show, but I can only imagine. I mean, but just, I don't know if you saw what I saw. I mean, I saw there's this rage against a successful, heterosexual Black man, because they don't get like that when they are, with a faggot. I'm not even going to say a man, because I'm not, not going to dilute that word, the definition of a man. They don't. They can do, I've seen them do movie reviews. I've seen them do, all kinds of things, and there's no problem. So this time they have a very successful, powerful, heterosexual Black man, and you can tell their body language, they'll trigger. Like even Mr. Samuels, he says, like, what's wrong? You look at their faces. It's like he I mean, I don't know, he didn't say that, but it was like they just find out he killed their entire family. Something like that. That's something, that's some high level of sickness. I don't need to make myself any more enemies. I know, African Americans, you hate feedback, right? You hate, like, because you're used to most of the whites. It's just the way they do it. It's just very, very much, very strategic, just to, You know, and especially they're saying they're when whites criticize you, obviously they criticize you for shit that they did to you. You know, well, as much as, you know, all that rage is turning against Mexicans now. You know, I don't know what you're watching on television. I don't know, but now it's just like, you know, if I click on anything, you know, from African Americans, they're talking shit about against Mexicans. And that we're this and that we're that, and the worst of the worst, and that's just the way it is. So, anyway, let's just continue.
You guys help us write a section. I've been open to all kind of experts.
We all know that that's not the case. Black women have specific needs that are not also being met, and we also feel that there should be some things that are specific to us and our plight as well. And I feel like as a black man, you can lead.
No,
I feel like
I just offered y'all to write a section up for it. I just said I don't mind if you guys help us. If you guys help us write a section. I've been open to all kind of experts in putting this together. It wasn't just me. We dealt with experts in all fields of this contract with Black America. So we're willing to deal with experts in the section when it comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
I'll help you write it. Say
you do get the money. How soon do you think your plan is going to go into effect? When will we start seeing the benefits?
I'm not getting 1 quarter.
Did they even acknowledge their reply? He said that is not a problem. You know, we are going to be hiring, you know, the best of the best, you know, from African American women to find out your needs. It's no problem. And it's like, you know, they totally, oh shit, he told us what we wanted to hear. Oh, hell no. Let's just change the conversation right now and make him look like another evil heterosexual Black man that is destroying African American women. I mean, you can see whatever you want. That's what I saw.
Okay, this is something he's promising to the country, and he's gonna have to implement it in a way he feel that can fit.
Okay, but can I just ask though, what would you see this plan doing for the first year for us if he's reelected?
I'm not part of the administration.
Well,
I'm here for Black people. I'm here to talk to both administrations.
It's gonna go into effect. When will we start seeing the benefits?
I'm not getting 1 quarter. Okay, this is something he's promising to the country, and he's gonna have to implement it in a way he feel that first in all fields of this contract with Black America. So we're willing to deal with experts in the section when it comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
I'll help you write it. Say
you do get the money. How soon do you think your plan is going to go into effect? When will we start seeing the benefits?
You saw yourself. You know, it was immediately, let's change the conversation. You know, I mean, yeah, you're gonna hire, not even like who you're gonna hire, who, like whatever. You know, where can we sign down? Can we tell our beloved sisters, you know, about this great opportunity? You know, like whatever. No, they changed the conversation completely.
You guys help us write a section. I've been open to all kind of experts in putting this together. It wasn't just me. We dealt with experts in all fields of this contract with Black America. So we're willing to deal with experts in the section when it comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
I'll help you write it. Say
you do get the money. How soon do you think your plan is going to go into effect? When will we start seeing the benefits?
I'm not getting 1 quarter. Okay, this is something he's promising to the country, and he's gonna have to implement it in a way he feel that can fit.
Okay, but can I just ask though, what would you see this plan doing for the first year for us if he's reelected?
I'm not part of the administration.
Well,
I'm here for Black people. I'm here to talk to both administrations about the contract with Black America. The Platinum Plan is not mine. Didn't name it. Didn't put it together. All I did was meet about the contract with Black America. They added some things, and I'm willing to meet with both sides. They can add some things or not. It's fine.
And you know, they ran off immediately and did statements that you're basically a Republican now.
That's on them. That ain't on me.
Okay.
That's on them. That's not on me.
Let's make sure. We can all talk at the same time. I got to ask a question, y'all. With over 20,000 lies told to the American people by this president, I'm a former friend of Donald Trump. I work with him. I made money with him. Personally, it would have served me better to still stay on his side. Why would you believe after he gets Black votes, his whole goal from 3 years ago was to siphon 20% of Black male votes to cross over to vote to support him? Yes. Why would we believe that he has, once he gets reelected, he will follow through with any of these plans, as opposed to Joe Biden and Kamala, who would be in their first term and be more indebted to do the right thing to get reelected for a second term? Right. Why should we believe that Donald Trump would actually follow through? That's a legit question that I have.
I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that out, because I'm not sure if he's gonna do it or not. I'm not sure what any of these guys are gonna do. All I know is we got to push our agenda, no matter who's in there. And I would, you know, in a perfect world, you know, the Biden campaign would have brought me in, and we would have really talked about the plan, and they would have did, you know, great things to their plans to specifically target Black people, but they chose not to, and that's fine. The thing is, I'm not a supporter of neither one of them. That's what's the problem. I'm an independent person.
You don't have a conversation with the administration if Biden wins and Kamala wins. It's not too late, so I don't think it's fair to dismiss what they are. They're not in power yet, so they really can't say and promise things, but they're not yet in power. We're not even in power in Congress.
You can't make campaign promises.
So why
they have. That's what the
make the promise when they're in office?
Well, they put out the Lift Every Voice Can Sing plan. That is their promise to America and to the world. That is their promise. So the thing is, you can always promise the people who put you in power something more than what you just came up with. You got to, especially when you know there's so much more that needs to be done. And he knows that it's so much that falls short in that plan when it comes to actually helping Black people, minority, people of color, diversity. All those are trick words, and Black people don't necessarily get a tenth of that. So we have to really be smart and really make sure that that money is touching the hands of the people who have really struggled in this country for hundreds of years.
I have a question. You said that the Biden campaign didn't reach out to you, and you said first you said
they did reach out. They didn't want to. They said we'll hook up after the election.
And to be fair, they're not the power in party right now. I want to ask you this if this is true, because I had heard from one of my sources that you were contacted for the Zoom call with Kamala Harris, with D.L. Hughley, Snoop Dogg, you, Killer Mike. They were all on the call, and you were not on the call, and that was in September. And why? So you said they didn't reach out to the Democrat reach out, but Kamala Harris's folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on the Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. Why did you not participate? You did not participate in that.
Well, we had spent, a lot of people time putting the contract with Black America together. And, I just thought that getting on a Zoom call with 12 other entertainers, all shooting what they believe needs to be done, to me, wasn't going to be productive. And I was also, because my lawyer, Matt Johnson, has a connection with Kamala Harris, and I was promised a call that I never received. So, that's why I didn't feel like I wanted to be on that Zoom call. So I feel like our plan is so broad that you can't talk about it with 12 other people who had entertainers all shooting.
That was in September. And why? So you said they didn't reach out to the Democrat reach out, but Kamala Harris's folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on the Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. Why did you not participate? They're not the power in party right now. I want to ask you this if this is true, because I had heard from one of my sources that you were contacted for the Zoom call with Kamala Harris, with D.L. Hughley, Snoop Dogg, you, Killer Mike. They were all on the call, and you were not on the call, and that was in September. And why? So you said they didn't reach out to the Democrat reach out, but Kamala Harris's folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on the Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. Why did you not participate? You did not participate in that.
Well, we had spent, a lot of people time putting the.
It's like she just got it from the chat room. Yeah, from the chat room. She's like reading like what and basically what it is like, you know what? Our master wanted to talk to you. And you did not, you was not in that conversation. He was like, what? It was like with 12 other people. Come on. And this is what I've been saying for the last few months, that I'm starting to wake up myself too. It is like, I mean, it is really horrible. It is really horrible that your own women are like, your biggest enemy. And this is not, trust me, I don't want the baggage of Black men, trust me. I know our African-American brothers and sisters are a handful. I have had very, very close friendships. And I know, I mean, like, it is a handful, from like, waking up in the middle of the night and they want to kill you because they are like in their PTSD and stuff like that. And always refusing any kind of like psychological treatment, because, that one part of you know that you have no friends, right? And unfortunately, that part of you, it only strikes when somebody actually have good intentions and not the other way around, for some reason. I don't know, but definitely, I mean, I don't want nobody to get this confused that I'm saying that I'm promoting, what's it called, interracial breeding. No. This is the exact opposite. But my goal with this is like to say, like, shit, we are not the only ones seeing it. Other people see it too. This is a tragedy. This is a huge mess. Come on. This is the moment, like, come on, half an hour can be less, because there was commercials probably, like whatever, all this is already without the commercials. So this is already half an hour. So half an hour. That was the challenge. Can African-American women be a little bit tiny, like civilized to African-American men? And the answer was like, hell no. That was the answer. I mean, like, probably Ice Cube, I mean, he already knew about this show and everything, but he kind of like figured out, hey, they might be different this time, especially because it's like 5 against 1. I mean, this is beyond depressing, you know.
Contacted for the Zoom call with Kamala Harris, with D.L. Hughley, Snoop Dogg, you, Killer Mike. They were all on the call, and you were not on the call, and that was
Okay.
that was in September. And why? So you said they didn't reach out. So the Democrats reached out, but Kamala Harris's folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on the Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. Why did you not participate? You did not participate in that.
Well, we had spent,
Yeah, and she said, why did you not participate? Anger. You said the anger when she was reading the whole thing, anger. Well, actually, everything they say it's angry. Like they somehow they was told like if you speak like you are angry, people are gonna believe that you're intelligent or something. This is really, really that sad. This is that sad. You know how misinformed, how like you are your man's ambassadors. You are your man's diplomatic team. Instead of that, you're scaring any potential, liaisons. That's why, I even heard the other day, was that 2 nights ago, I heard Professor Jason Black saying, "Oh, there's no hope ever because African nations will never vote for anything that benefit African Americans. So many, like I feel like entire African American population already gave up on diplomacy, and as awful as that is, I mean, I was just watching again the biography from His Imperial Highness Haile Selassie. There was the priest Isaac made a biography, and the legal unions, the legal unions was all white, and then there was Ethiopia, and of course it was horrible. I mean, they did not punish Italy for declaring war against another member of the League of Nations, right? So yeah, there's many times where diplomacy fail. It's horrible, but it's a holistic genocide, and it had to be a holistic approach, in my humble opinion. So I like his answer. Of course they just keep getting more and more angry. You say like there was like how many? There was 3 questions in a matter of seconds. In 3 seconds, 3 questions right before they cut off. When you say like, oh no, we can hire the best of the best to get us the women's agenda. There's no problem there. Like Chihuahua dogs.
People time putting the contract with Black America together. And, I just thought that getting on a Zoom call with 12 other entertainers, all shooting what they believe needs to be done, to me wasn't going to be productive. And I was also, because my lawyer, Matt Johnson, has a connection with Kamala Harris, and I was promised a call that I never received. So, that's why I didn't feel like I wanted to be on that Zoom call. So I feel like our plan is so broad that you can't talk about it with 12 other people who had nothing to do with it. And these are a lot of things that really need to be done. So I wanted to have a serious conversation and not just a rally cry kind of conversation.
But you said
that should be in the headline. Ice Cube and Kamala Harris, they share a law firm. They say a lawyer, but probably it's a law firm. And she still decided to disrespect him and not engage with him on one-on-one. Well, that bitch is probably already paranoid. Is it like, oh, he's gonna be mite or something?
Anyone that was willing to help. You said you were.
I am, but I just said that they said they were gonna call me direct, and I never got that call. So when you hear that, you're waiting for that call. It never came.
So no kind of way don't work if it's not the way that you started. You want, yeah.
Well, I want to get things done. I don't want to just spin my wheels, talk to people who can't really make it happen. So I didn't want to just. Well, when I had listen, because I had the conversation. When I had the Zoom call with the DNC, the Democratic Party, we was on the call for probably over 45 minutes, and we never even got to the contract with Black America. We never went through any other points that needs to be dealt with when it comes to the situation in this country. No one else has a plan that deals with as many issues that this administration or any administration could fix if they had the political will, and you have to give them the political will, and that's what's being done. So I didn't want to put anybody on blast for that, but since they saying I didn't jump on the call, it's because I was promised a call where we can actually deal with this in a serious manner, and it wasn't just what I considered a rally call.
But I feel like that actually could have been okay, because you could have led the call and had supporters on listening to what it was that you're trying to get them to be able to help rally with the initiative for that.
I had been doing press about the contract of Black America.
That was the woman who prepared herself for the interview by watching Roland Martin. I just needed to point that out.
Outside of that, so I was using my press to promote the contract, not just to them dudes on the call, but to all of America, to all of Black America. That's where my thing is. So I wasn't on the call, but that don't mean we couldn't have a call. So that's what happened. And I don't feel like I made a mistake for not being on the call.
I will tell you, we have to wrap the show. We're way over, but I just want to say, Cube, I hear what you're saying, but I just want you to know, as Black women, how we would feel with, there's no mention specifically of Black women in the contract of Black America. They do have
staying on top of that. I just told you, you can write that up.
We're not out here jumping on calls.
We are Black, so we are.
We're not.
Just told you, you can write that up. Like I said, this was their opportunity. What do you think? I mean, just to put it into perspective, I wonder if anybody ever encountered this interview, you know, like a message in a bottle in the Pacific Ocean, you know, anybody, and I say anybody, any country from China to whatever, Persia, whatever, you tell them you're gonna get to interview Ice Cube. I want you to do like people who have those kind of shows, those kind of like, they go in the street and you know, like, oh, you know, you've been surprised, you've been like elected to interview Ice Cube, and you will see how like we are gonna be like, oh my God, Ice Cube, like, how do I prepare myself? Where do I start? What do I do? It's like, oh my God, you know, let me get all his music. I'm gonna be like, listen to his music. I'm gonna be like, you know, anybody but Black women would have been ecstatic to have an opportunity to speak to Ice Cube. Now, or 10 years ago, or in the 90s, whatever. You see, I mean, this is really horrible. This was really horrible. This is very reprehensible. I don't know if there's such thing as you know, like African Americans, they get together to say like, you know, I mean, any more segments like this on television, I mean, like, don't expect the world to respect you. Don't expect the world to, and I'm not being, you know, like whatever. It's just common sense. You don't control your narrative. You know, I learned that as a personal experience, you know, as a transsexual woman, you know, we don't control our narrative. We are just a joke, whatever. And, you know, so it's like, I cannot really get mad at people for whatever, saying whatever they're going to say. Because, you know, like I said, I don't even watch television. So I don't even know they are like, you know, they are rallying us up. I wouldn't even know it, because I know it's a torture. For me, there's nothing I can do to make it better. It's like the serenity prayer, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, to change the things I can, and grant me the wisdom to know the difference, right? So you can change your narrative. You can change your narrative. You can, like, you know, you can picket National Action Network right here in Harlem. You can picket them, go outside. Do something for us. Do something. Go there. Tell them not to air this kind of like interviews, which is a spectacle. It's horrible. I don't know how else to say it. You know, how low can you go? That's the name of a song. You know, that's what comes to mind. How low can you go? How long, what else you gonna allow to? And this is like, you know, I'm talking about Rupert Murdoch. He's got the monopoly in all continents, in Australia, in Africa, and all continents. So you can bet this interview got air in all these countries too. And this is what you are exporting. This is what there's no, There's no care. Anybody, as an actor, actress, or even celebrity, they hire people to image consulting. Like Kevin Samuels, we were just talking about. He is into fashion and image. He called himself Image. I don't know what that is. So you can put all your monies together and hire an image consultant, tell you what not to do. This, you don't do this. This is suicide. This is suicide. This is Cops, the television show, 1995, all over again. This is like, if you see a show where your own women, it's just, they treat you worse than that orange piece of shit. I can guarantee you, if you tell these women, oh, you're gonna have that orange piece of shit in your television show, they will be like, "Hi, Mr. President, ha ha ha," because they're still hoping for a job. And I guess they just see that, Mr. Ice Cube is not good for them. I don't know. This is just so awful. This is just plain awful. And it come to a point that these women, they break him. And you see that, he started talking like a child at the end of the show. Let me play you the last minute of the show. It's just like, I mean, I thought it was on YouTube. I thought this shit was on YouTube, but then you tell me it was on television. This shit was on television. This was not on YouTube. Even on YouTube, it's horrible for YouTube. Now for national network?
With Jared Kushner and Donald Trump about this, you are. So you can't.
I don't feel like I made a mistake for not being on the call.
I will tell you, we have to wrap the show. We're way over, but I just want to say, Cube, I hear what you're saying, but I just want you to know, as Black women, how we would feel with, there's no mention specifically of
all of America, to all the Black America.
Yeah, you see, like, I just rewinded a little more because, I want you to see there's no, there's a reply from him, and then they just ignore the reply. That is the new journalism, or whatever they call it.
That's where my thing is. So I wasn't on the call, but that don't mean we couldn't have a call. So that's what happened. And I don't feel like I made a mistake for not being on the call.
I will tell you, we have to wrap the show. We're way over, but I just want to say, Cube, I hear what you're saying, but I just want you to know, as Black women, how we would feel with, there's no mention specifically of Black women in the context of Black America. They do have
stand on top of that. I just told you can write that up.
We're not out here jumping on calls.
We are Black, so we are.
We're not meeting with Jared Kushner and Donald Trump about this. You are. So you can't say, well, if you don't like it, add to it. You're out here. You took that job. You took that position.
I'll write it up. I'll write up the Black woman's part of the contract for you.
Yeah,
how many words do y'all want it to be? The thing is, you guys are the experts, but here we go again. You just want to talk. Nobody want to help me. Just want to talk. But y'all the experts on Black women, so why won't y'all help me? See, that's the problem.
Initiatives have already been said.
We're way over. I wish we would have you for more time because I feel like you have a lot to say, Ice Cube, and you're very.
Why won't you help me? You see, like, this is the impotence. This is like, I mean, I don't know. I had a horrible thought, but this is like to have a really cold heart, to grab, one of the most successful African American men in the whole world, the African man in the whole world, and just treat him like shit. Just treat him like shit. Break him down and say, like, why won't you help me? You just wanna talk. Why won't you help me? And say, like, oh, we got in the show. Oh, we just wanted you to make sure that you ain't shit. That's basically what the whole show was about. Horrible. You don't need, the Ku Klux Klan. You don't need the rednecks. You don't need the whole neo-Nazi movement. You don't need your own women are worse than all of them combined. I just hope that you open your eyes and you stop, I mean, there's gotta be something that can be done. Come on, there's gotta be something that can be done. I don't even think of about it right now, but I feel like maybe African Americans should go on strike and say, fuck it.
Just want to talk. Nobody want to help me. Just want to talk. But y'all the experts on black women, so why won't y'all help me? See, that's the problem.
This shit has already been said. So
I wish we're way over. I wish we would have you for more time because I feel like you have a lot to say, Ice Cube, and you're very influential, and we appreciate this. And I hope we can respectfully debate and no feelings hurt. I don't think you are the type that would get hurt. I appreciate y'all. I wish we could have you back and have more of this conversation. Would you be open to come back here?
Of course, we family.
Yeah, well, if that is family, then you know, like I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, there's so many commercials. It's like, you know, how low can you go? How low can you go? I mean, like that's just what keep popping in my head. It's just like, you know, this is not like, you know, like a little like YouTube channel, whatever. You make an ass out of yourselves, and it's like whatever. This is like, this shit is serious. This shit is serious. I mean, like, and there's no end in sight. There's no end in sight. Why? Because Black women is God. Black women is God. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. How dare you? You know, she will fuck you up. Yeah. I mean, that's the rule of terror. That's the rule of terror, if you ask me. You know, and it's just sad. It's just sad. I mean, like, and you know, I mean, there's a small fact, you know, that the crackers did not kidnap African American women until the last, you know, 50 years of chattel slavery. They said there was no intentions of making, you know, there was no intentions of breeding, you know, because that's what the crackers, that's what they call it, right? To breeding, you know, slaves, because that's the way they saw you, allegedly, which I don't even buy it. I knew that I think I knew exactly what they was doing, and exactly who they was doing it to, against. You know, I mean, God, I don't want no more suggestions from no videos, no nothing. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. I really don't want to hear nothing about African Americans. I really don't, because it's hopeless and it's just painful and it's just pointless to be like, you know, stressing yourself out for what? For what? If a video like this do not call in for a council of men, you know, to put your women in check, I mean, I don't know what's gonna do it. I don't know what's gonna do it. Like I say, you know, I mean, I want to have a lot of Black babies, but, you know, other than that, I feel like you should remove yourselves from your own women, because obviously they don't appreciate you. And that's not to say to go to other women. Again, because they're gonna do the same thing they did to Ice Cube. I mean, he went on days clarifying, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm pushing the Black agenda. That's all. That's all. They was busted. They had no proposals. They had nothing. They told him, oh yeah, you're hired. He told him, like, right there, you're hired. You write that for us. Yes. Oh no, because they know they're retarded. They know they cannot do shit. They got the title in universities, but they didn't get it the right way, obviously. Because if anybody that got the title from university, they would have said like, oh hell yes, are you for real? Yes, I can write the first 5 points. I can write 5 points for your plan. I can do this. I can do that. I can do like whatever. Shameful. Shame on you, Black women. For real. Shame on you, Black women. I say it again. Shame on you, all Black women. You got to make this shit stop. I don't know. The good ones, they have to take care of the bad ones. ASAP.